Hi friends, kumusta? So welcome back. For today's video, we will be talking about the letter of acceptance or the LOA. I will be sharing to you how to secure an LOA, what are the admission requirements, the costs of application, how to get an LOA for 2 programs, and lastly, how to extend your study permit if you decide to study again for another program. By the way, if you don't know me, my name is Jason Jim and I am making videos about international students, workers, and even residents here in Canada. And I suggest to watch till the end of the video as I will be showing to you my own LOA that indicates with 2 programs. So don't forget to click the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I also suggest to hit the notification bell so that you will be updated every time that I post a video. So let's begin. Alright, so if you want to study here in Canada as an international student, the first document that you need to obtain is the letter of application. So LOA is also known as the offer letter or offer of admission. And this is a mandatory document that is required by IRCC to get a study permit or a student visa. So you need to have an LOA in applying for Canada study permit. But how to get an LOA? The first thing that you need to do is to choose a designated learning institution or the DLI. DLIs are the schools approved by the territorial or provincial government to host an international student. So I highly recommend to choose a DLI that offers PGWP or the post-graduation work permit. So this PGWP allows you and you will be eligible to work after you graduate. So if you study for 1-year program, you will get a 1-year post-graduation work permit. And if you study for 2 or more years, you will get 3 years PGWP. So I highly recommend that in choosing a designated learning institution, make sure that they are offering PGWP so that you can work after studying in Canada. And I will link in the description box the website where you can find all of the designated learning institution and you will know if they are offering PGWP or not. Okay, so after choosing a DLI that offers PGWP, the next thing that you need to do is to choose a program. So you need to pick a program that you intend to study. So it might be related to your previous course or program back in your home country's college or university. It can also be related to your work experience or the passion that you really wanted to pursue. But in your study permit application, you need to explain and defend why did you choose this program. And to help you, I made a video about successful letter of explanation or what you call the study plan or the study of purpose. There are different samples of SOPs that I provided on that video, which are also from the previous students here in Canada. Okay, so after choosing a DLI and a program, the next thing that you need to do is to complete the application form. The application form is usually on the website of your chosen DLI. Make sure as well that you choose and check the application form for the international student. And some of the common steps required in completing the application form are checking the application admission or deadlines for international students. So it means to say that your chosen program is also available in your DLI's application. And same thing for the deadlines. So if there are specific deadlines that you need to submit, for example, your requirements or even the payments partially, you need to know those information so that you won't be delayed or late in your application for you to get your LOA. Another one is setting up an online profile in the institution's unique student portal. Alright, so you already chose a DLI and program and you also completed the application form. So the next is the LOA or the admission requirements. Okay, so for the requirements, Just a disclaimer that I will be providing you the usual and general requirements that a DLI is requesting, but I just want to let you know that not all of these documents or requirements should be provided. Again, it varies from institution to institution what will be their requirements that you need to provide to them. Okay, so the first document that you need to provide as a requirement is the academic records. So for your academic records, it can be the official transcripts or grades, certificate of completion, or your diploma. So you can also provide or prepare for your elementary or your primary education, your high school or the secondary education, and in your college or university or for your tertiary education. But usually, designated learning institutions require to provide for your secondary and tertiary education credentials. The next requirement is your passport. So you will be providing scanned copy of your passport, specifically the biodata page of your passport. The next requirements that they might request from you are the updated resume and the certificate of employment. The next admission requirement is your English test. You can take IELTS or CELPIP, but take note that the English test actually depends on the program that you will be taking, and also it will depend on the institution if they require you to take an English test. Because there are institutions that English test is already waived, but you need to provide a certification or a letter of English as a medium of instruction. So this letter should be certified by your previous school, for example, your college or university, which proves that English is the mode of language or instruction when you were still studying during your university or college. So this is the example of my certification of English as a medium of instruction. So you can request for this document from your previous college or university if your DLI is not requiring an English test, and instead this letter or certification will be accepted. I also made videos about low tuition fees and cheapest colleges here in Ontario for both with and without IELTS. I also want to add that the English test also depends on the type of your study permit application. So if you chose a DLI that waives the English test, but you are planning to apply for Canada study permit under SDS or the student direct stream, you must take the IELTS exam, because one of the requirements if you are applying through this application is the English test. So for more information about SDS, you can also watch this video. Alright, so for the last document for your admission requirement that your DLI requires to submit is the notarized translation. So if you have documents that are written or typed in your own language, your DLI might also suggest or recommend you to submit these documents to be notarized and translated as well. Alright, so these are the usual admission requirements that you need to provide for you to secure an LOA. But I will reiterate again that it will depend on your designated learning institution what are the specific documents that they are going to request from you. So what I suggest is that you can prepare for these documents so that if they requested each and everything of it, you are prepared and you can submit to their office. And in submitting these documents, it also depends on your DLI, how will you submit it. As I have mentioned earlier, you can submit or upload your documents to the student application portal, or your DLI can also ask you to submit through their email to their specific office or department. So you need to contact the enrollment office or the admission department for you to know more about the details of the application requirements. Alright, so once you're done choosing a DLI program, completing the application form, and gathering all of the documents, the next thing that you need to do is to pay for application or admission fee. So the range of the letter of acceptance and admission fee is roughly from $75 to $500 So again, it varies from institution to institution what will be the amount or the cost of their admission fee or the letter of application. So you need to contact them for you to know the exact amount and how will you pay for your admission fee. Alright, so for those who don't know, I came here in Canada back in 2018 as an international student, and I took 2 programs. So my programs were Global Hospitality Management and Global Business Management at Conestoga College. Back in my study permit application, the LOA that I received was for 2 programs. So it means to say that I didn't need to extend my study permit since I already have 2 programs in my LOA. So how will you apply for 2 programs? So the first thing that you need to know is that if the institution allows you to apply for 2 programs. So it means to say, upon application, there are institutions let you enroll for 2 programs right away. So it really depends on the institution if they will admit you for only 1 program or either 1 year or 2-year program. For example, the DLI that you have chosen only allows 1 program and you decide to apply for another program. So what I suggest is that you can apply for extension of your study permit, and we will discuss about it later. Alright, so the second thing that you need to know about applying for 2 programs, make sure that the 2 programs that you chose are open for application. For example, back in the time that I was applying for an LOA at Conestoga College, the Global Hospitality Management and the Global Business Management were open for the admission application. So it means to say that in choosing 2 programs, make sure that those programs are open for the admission application. But if not, you have 2 options. The first option is choose another program that is open for the admission application. Or the second option, apply for extension again of a study permit in Canada. Alright, so the last thing that you need to know in applying for 2 programs is indicate in your application for the 2 programs. Alright, so upon application of LOA, make sure to provide and indicate in your application form that you will be applying for 2 programs, so that if the DLI provides you the LOA, it is for 2 programs right away. Alright, so as I have promised, this is the actual LOA that I received from Conestoga College. So I had 2 programs, which are the Global Business Management and Global Hospitality Management as indicated in the LOA. And as a matter of fact, I already received the visa for 2 years, so I didn't need to extend my study permit or even my student visa. Alright, so once you come here in Canada and after your 1-year program and you decide that you want to get another program, you need to extend your study permit. But when to apply for a new program? So in applying for a new program, the earlier the better, or at least 30 days before your study permit expires. For example, in your first semester, if the program that you will be choosing to study is already open for admission, might as well apply for a new LOA for your new program. But again, you need to apply at least 30 days before your study permit expires. Also, make sure that your passport doesn't expire at the same time, because you can't extend your study permit beyond your passport's expiry date. Okay, so you know when to apply. The next one is how to apply. You can apply through online as it is faster processing. You need to create a MyCIC account, or you can also use your previous CIC account so that you don't need to create a new one. The second thing that you need to know on how to apply is to gather all the documents. So for the first document, since you will be applying for a new program, you need to secure a new letter of acceptance. The second one is the proof of means of financial support, or the POF. So the POF confirms that you have enough funds to support your studies and your cost of living for 1 year. So the same thing as you applied on the first time for Canada study permit. You must show that you have at least 10,000 Canadian dollars for the student alone. So aside from the LOA and the POF, you need to provide a scanned copy of your biodata page. Again, I just want to remind you that your study permit will not be issued past your passport expiry date. If your passport will expire soon, as early as possible, renew your passport for your study permit extension. You also need to provide a digital photo and letter of explanation. So the letter of explanation, you will indicate the purpose of your application, issues that you would like to clarify or that the officer might think that will be useful, and also other documents that you need to provide as well. You also need to give your biometrics if applicable, and lastly, the medical examination. For medical exam, if you have been studying in Canada for 12 months, you don't need to provide a medical exam unless you would like to work in a job that will bring you close to other people, like for the patient, elderlies, and even children. So this includes the public health, health and sciences, and the agriculture related fields, like for example, health workers, primary and secondary school teachers as well. Once you already gathered all of your documents, you needed to do is to fill out the application form. So your application form is an important part of your study permit extension. Missing or incorrect information can negatively affect outcome of your extension of study permit, and make sure that you will download the newest application form so that there will be any problem in your extension for your study permit. This is the example of the application form that you need to fill out in extension of your study permit. So once done filling out the application form, that's the time that you will be uploading all of your documents in your MyCIC account. And after that, you need to pay for 150 Canadian dollars for your study permit extension. And as per IRCC, the processing time will take 59 days for your study permit extension. And as I have mentioned, as early as possible, apply for an extension of your study permit. Alright, so I really hope that this video helps you know about LOA, or the letter of application, and especially extending for your study permit if you are planning to study again for another program. If you like this video, don't forget to click the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I also suggest to hit the notification bell so that you will be updated every time that I post a video. Again, thank you so much. My name is Jason Jim, and see you to my next video. Bye!